Jeremy Bailenson and the Superman experiment. This is a really interesting one. So Bailenson created a virtual reality environment. So in this, you put on this headset as shown in the picture, and you find yourself in a deserted city. And your task is to find an abandoned child who's diabetic and deliver a shot of insulin to them. That's your task. Yeah, very specific, right? Two groups, always two groups, maybe three. In this case, there are two groups. In the first group, you have the power to fly like Superman. That's what the guy's doing in the picture here. He's actually flying in the virtual reality environment. In the second group, you are in a helicopter. You're a passenger in a helicopter. You're being flown around the city. Both cases, you find the child, you come out, and then you're taken into an office, and the experimenter asks you a few questions, and you're told this isn't part of the experiment. If you're ever in a psychology experiment and you're told this isn't part of the experiment, it's always part of the experiment. Right? Until you're out the door, until you're back home, you are part of the experiment. Halfway through this set of questions, the experimenter accidentally knocks some pens onto the floor. And what they did is they looked to see how quickly people helped pick up the pens, whether they picked up the pens. So the experimenter knocks the pens and then waits for 5 seconds to see if anybody will help pick them up. What they found is that the people who've been flying like Superman started picking up pens after just 3 seconds, so before the experimenter helped pick them up, and picked up more pens as a result. Everybody in the Superman group helped pick up the pens. The people who'd been flown in the helicopter took, on average, 6 seconds to pick up the first pen. So that's after the experimenter had started picking up the pens. And a number of people in the helicopter group didn't pick up any pens at all. They just sat there watching. What does this tell us? The more empowered people feel, the greater their propensity to show kindness to others. So, the people who were able to fly like Superman were actually empowered to make their own way around the city and to try and find the abandoned child themselves. Whereas those in the helicopter were just sitting there as a passenger and being driven around, flown around, I guess. The Superman group was much more empowered, and they actually helped more as a result. Perfect timing, thank you, slide. What does this mean? Autonomy is really important. Autonomy is one of 3 fundamental human needs related to working. So this applies to studying, it applies to the workplace as well. Autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Some of you may have heard that. I'm just going to talk about autonomy today. So autonomy means acting with choice, being able to make your own choices, being self-determined. And what studies have found is that students who have more choice and more autonomy over their learning work better and learn more. So, in terms of practical advice, give students autonomy, give students more autonomy. What does this mean specifically? Well, you can, when you set a task, don't actually specify with the students how they should tackle it. Leave it up to them to work out how to tackle it.